Greetings, my name is Rudimentary Rob. Welcome back to my Valheim series. Today we have episode 8 of the second season. We are resuming our quest to see if we can answer the age-old question, do we have enough iron yet? Now, I want you to leave a comment below if you feel like by the end of this episode we either will or will not have enough iron. While we're waiting for that to arrive, we're going to get straight into the mining. We're in the process of clearing out the remaining crypts in this area of the swamp. Now, we did get a bit of action here, and we also got a bit of iron as well. So, strap yourself in, put on your favourite mining helmet, and get ready for a montage of our iron gathering exercise. Yes, other things of note, minor spoiler, I will say that I'm, in my current playing and recording, I'm actually done with the swamp. I'm not going to tell you how much footage of swamp activity lies between where we are now and where I'm up to at the moment, but we're certainly a hell of a lot closer than where we were a few hours ago, let's put it that way. That looks like a big boy. Wonder, oh hello. That, boys and girls, is a 2-star Dragoor Elite. And we're quite familiar with how, you know, lesser critters are prone to exploding within 1 or 2 hits with the door knocker. This guy is somewhat more resistant, I'm going to say. Some other issues with this room is you can very distinctly hear in the background there is a spawner, which means we're going to have to decide which pair of heavy-duty man pants we're going to have to put on here in a minute, because whatever that spawner is running, we're gonna have an endless wave of these guys coming at us, and I don't know about you, but I don't have all day. So we strap our pants on, we get our Mark II door knocker out, and we focus purely on destroying the spawner before it has a chance to throw any other 2-star pains in the backside in our general direction. Sometimes in your runs through crypts, you will end up facing situations like this. Probably the only recommendation I have is to do more or less what I did there. Get rid of the, you know, high threat, high damage mobs, and leave it with, in my case I only had the 2 regular Dragoor there, and they take up sort of spawn spots in the radius of the spawner, so it means there's less chance that you're going to get something new out of the spawner while ever they're still there. So it's a bit like with the other spawners, like the skeleton spawners and the, you know, Grey Dwarf spawners. If there's already mobs of that type in the area, there can only be a maximum number of them. And if those mobs are ones that don't do catastrophically huge amounts of damage to you, you're better off leaving them up long enough to destroy the spawner and then, you know, kill them afterwards. And we have ourselves a bit of blob-based action. For some reason, even though he's aggroed, he does not seem to want to come towards us. So, we're just going to light him on fire. Alright, it's time to run some iron back to the boat. Boat's got a bit of iron in it. Do we think that's enough? Nah. We'll grab some more iron. Do we think that's enough? Could be. But, gonna say, nah. Nah, we're gonna want more iron than that. Alright, time to clear out the next crypt. Except I saw a bit of movement just after I zoned in, and sure enough, some crypts you will end up with these, you know, Draugr at the entrance, or with access to the entrance. So, you know, if you're a bit squishy, I definitely wouldn't run in blind. I'd explore the immediate area first, just to make sure you don't get jumped by something. This is a fantastic example of the crypts that you need to be a bit careful of, because there seems to be multiple rooms with already, you know, having blobs and Draugr in them, and yet we can still hear a spawner in the distance. So I kind of need to keep pushing in, because if there's an area or a room that has a spawner that has access to the entrance, I need to get rid of it before I can start exploring the rest of the crypt. Otherwise I'm going to get constantly ambushed by Draugr coming from behind. And this isn't that kind of an operation. Now that we've dealt with all the locals, well, all the ones that had access to the entrance anyway, we can now get on with the task of mining. And we already had at least one block passage there at the entrance. So this crypt is not looking that great. But we'll see. You know, there'll be some iron in here. Let's see how well we go. Yeah, this crypt has quite a few of these rooms in it, where there's the stairs up out of the water and the muck, and there's a chest, and because the gap's not wide enough, the Draugr can't get to me. And it's absolutely hilarious doing this. Honestly, if there was an arcade game at the you know, circus or whatever, I reckon I could do that all day. Yeah, this crypt, it did have some iron in it, to be sure. It wasn't a particularly, let's say, rewarding crypt, this one. I always like to get at least 60 out of a crypt, and this one only had 48 in it, so it's definitely not the worst, and that may actually be a spoiler alert, but anyway, we'll get to that in due time. So we've walked back to the boat here. You know, the boat's getting close to half full. Dare we ask the question, is that enough iron? And I'm still going to say no, it's not. So, we've wiped out 3 of the 4 crypts in this area, as I've just indicated with my little mouse cursor there. We're now heading to crypt number 4, and the last in this section of swamp. We can hear some stomp, stomp, stomp down there. That's just a abomination I aggroed ages ago when I was exploring the area. He's not eating much, so we'll leave him where he is. Actually, looks like he's walking in place. You know, if that's the way he chooses to get his exercise, that's fine. I'm happy to leave him with that. In the meantime, we've got a couple of locals that we need to get rid of. And with them now gone, we can get on with the task at hand. Alright, well, just to prove the, you know, 2-starness wasn't a fluke, we're back and we've got some more 2-star Draugr action. But you will notice that they all have something in common, which is the whole, there's a spawner in the background, you know, motif. I don't think, without a spawner, I don't think you can, or at least I haven't come across a lot of 2-star or indeed 1-star Draugrs, but when you're in a room or near a room with a spawner, the chance of them goes up quite a lot. Now, I wasn't playing around with this guy because he's an archer, and as you saw there, the archers hit really cracking hard. And now he's got a friend who is also an archer. So, having got rid of the 2-star, we now charge into the room and destroy the spawner. Now, that actually went surprisingly well for a change. Oh, hang on. Do we have another spawner down here? When you have random Draugr walking around, it's usually a sign that there is a spawner. And sure enough, here's another one. So, we've got 2 in successive rooms. But again, that seemed to go quite well. Okay, I wasn't the most careful there. Normally I should pause before these bits that you have to swim and just kind of make sure that what just happened isn't sitting there waiting to enhance my day. But what I've done, considering I didn't know if that was even, you know, a vanilla or a, you know, 1 or a 2-star, I ran back to the entrance because it's very easy to get back up on that shelf, and Draugrs can't jump, so you know, if I tried to stand my ground, the minute I turn around, if that's a 1 or a 2-star and I'm not prepared, chances are I'm probably going to end up dying. So it's safer to run back to that ledge and, you know, be able to make a decent determination when you get there than sometimes trying to stand your ground only for it to go very, very pear-shaped. So our luck seems to be going pretty well today, and by luck I mean the fact that I'm not completely exhausted and making some really terrible and very scary decisions. Well, this crypt has been going really well. We seem to be getting a decent amount of iron out of it, and there's certainly no lack of action as well. I have to say, for the previous couple of crypts, other than those very occasional 2-stars that we came across, they've been pretty uneventful, and some of them have really been struggling to give me what I'd consider to be an acceptable amount of iron. But this crypt, I'm enjoying this crypt. It's had just enough of all of the things that I like in crypts. Day 166. Yeah, we're slowly getting closer to where I'm actually up to in this save, but just as a bit of a distraction and to try and help Itchy out in his game, I loaded in a character I hadn't played for a very long time from a map that had, I believe it was 484 days on it. You can imagine the sort of gear that I had going on that save, and that one was from ages ago when Mistlands was still fairly new. So, yay. Alright, we have successfully cleared this crypt, and it is time to do some unloading to the boat. Now, as you can see, we actually did quite well out of this crypt. I was very happy with the amount of iron that we got out of it. Should I ask the question? Do we now have enough iron? I don't know. Let's get all this back to the boat, and we'll see if we can make a value decision about, is this truly enough iron? I seem to be in a bit of a thoughtful mode here, and I'm seeing those 3 crypts up there, and I'm circling a bit of a spot up there. I wonder if that's a bit of a clue as to where we might be going next. Well, we'll leave that in the back of our minds for a moment. We've got to, of course, go back and get the rest of the iron out of this delicious crypt that we have not long finished clearing. And as you can see, I am taking the let's just take it all with us approach. I've already made trips through this bit of the swamp probably half a dozen or a dozen times on this particular day, so if there was anything that had a pulse, or indeed formerly had a pulse, died and came back to life, trust me, it is all now returned to the grave. So we have a fairly safe run back to the boat from here, and indeed here we are, not running but swimming to the boat. It's interesting to note that I can carry 1,000 weight worth of iron and still float on the surface of the water. Wow, that's an impressive amount of iron. But is it enough? Well, we're getting very close to the end of this episode. Leave your comments down below, you know, seasoned and unseasoned Valheim players. You tell me, does that look like enough iron to see us through the rest of the game? We've reached the end of the episode. If you've liked what you've seen, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed, then you may as well hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you can be apprised of any future releases. In the meantime, my name is Rudimentary Rob. Thank you very much for watching, and have yourself a fantastic day.